Thanks, Winston. Savannah Richards reporting from Fredonia, New York, asking students what they think about the Occupy Wall Street movement and how the issues raised by the movement actually affect their lives.
I know that it has to do with a lot of social issues and economic issues that people are really stressed out about in this day and age. And I think it's just a lot of people who have many different backgrounds are just joining together to protest against, I guess, inequality.
Basically a collective movement, not necessarily against capitalism, but against economic control of government. So it doesn't really matter if it's capitalism. Any economic control of government, it's people moving against that because that's not right.
I don't really know much about Occupy Wall Street because everyone that I've talked to has given a different description. On the news, I saw an interview with kind of just a random person in this movement, and they kind of questioned her. So what are you actually doing there? She's like, well, we want to see change. There are a lot of problems, and we want to see change. And then the news interviewer, whatever, said, okay, so what exactly are you trying to push for? And she's like, well, I see a problem, and we want change. And didn't actually say anything in an interview on news. And I thought that was really funny.
Just sick of a system that's designed to externalize costs at the expense of others in the name of profit. And a lot of people are kind of sick of those people running our government. And they've suddenly realized how disempowered the public's become. Either it's through being misled by the mainstream media or just through the robbery of our electoral system. We've decided to come together finally, and then we found our voice.
Despite some confusion as to the motivating factors behind the movement, many of the young people we spoke with had strong ideas for increasing student involvement.
I don't know. I think they've shown a great deal of solidarity and a good deal of, just effectiveness in actually gathering enough people to occupy Wall Street. And if I could get down there, I would.
I think I would have to see a real organized, concise message, a real drive. I'd have to see that they actually had specific goals instead of broader goals. I mean, I'm all about a redistribution of our resources, but how do you want to make that work? How do you plan on implementing that? I want to know how you want to do these things before I can fully sign on.
You need to go from just a lot of people saying we want change to people actually pushing for change on a political level, on a media level, on a print level. It requires certain spikes in intelligence and movement and integration.
I'm in my senior year and I just want to at least get my degree before I do anything else. It's like I've come this far, I might as well get a piece of paper that says I did it. I gotta finish this before I think of any, social goals rather than personal.
After spending the day talking with students, we found that the majority seemed to be interested in the Occupy Wall Street movement. Some have even gotten active.
This directly applies to all of us, especially if you take out loans to go to school, which everybody here does. And as to whether you're too lazy to get active or not, I don't know if that's the case, but getting active can be as small as closing your bank account at Bank of America and opening up in a small credit union somewhere, or even sending dried goods down to the occupation in Wall Street, or really just spreading education of your peers is probably one of the biggest things you can do. Just because even if you're not actively in the streets with signs and whatever, if you can reform the public consciousness through peer-to-peer exchange, I think that's just as good.
Those students who are interested but not active seem to be far too busy dealing with the symptoms that have caused this movement to get active learning about or fighting for this cause. Back to you, Winston.